Hello, everyone. Oh, I can't believe it is Wednesday already. Anywho, today we're going to make some pockets, and we're not going to make the pockets like the standard issue, we're going to make like folio pockets. Like, I have a vision for our journal here. What did I do with it? I clamped it down together. There it is. Because it was starting to curl when it was drying, and I'm like, I'm just going to clamp this down for a little while, and I just did it, so it's still going to be curled a little bit, but once we put the fabric on here, it'll straighten out. But, so we got this and this going on, right? And that's going to be our journal. So, you can't put just standard pockets in something that's kind of cool, right? So what I'm thinking, I'm going to measure this, and we're going to put like pages of pockets, kind of like a folio, but kind of not. So let's find our ruler, and we can do 10. Let's do 9 3/4. No, because we're right at like 10 and an eighth. So if we do 9 3/4, that'll give us a little room at the top and a little room at the bottom to do what I want to do. And then we can make them by 9-ish. 9 3/4 by 9 1/4. So let me write this down. And even though I have this mat out today, my camera got joggled in between me starting the live and, okay, I must have bumped it. Sorry about the movement, but there we go. I must have bumped it when I sat down. Anywho, so we're going to do 9 3/4 by 9 1/4 is our main size. So this will be 18 1/2 if we're going to fold them. So even though I have this mat down, I still have my paper underneath it, so I can still write things down because I have perimenopause brain, and it's fun. Not really. So it dried so cool, and I'm kind of scared to put anything on it. But I'm gonna put some what's it called? There's a word for it, like a clear coat. I don't want to put wax. I was thinking wax, but wax stays sticky for so long. We'd be here for a month while it cured, and I don't want to deal with that. So, nope. This is the trick, is getting it to lay down flat so I can put these back on. There we go. And it is relatively dry here. It hasn't rained in probably close to a week, maybe a little longer. And I don't know if you've ever been to Texas, but the soil here sucks up water like the Sahara. And we're at, I think, let me look at we're at 38% humidity. Great candy making day. All right, so I've got a couple of hanging file folders. I've got a manila folder because I knew these would be just about perfect. Yeah, so we're just going to cut off a little bit. So what if, this is 9, so we could put this almost directly right in. Okay. And then I forgot to measure the spine. But what we're going to do is a tab type spine for that, so there's no holes being poked in it. So I'm wondering, do we want to just do 2? So there'll be 8 pages? Should we just do, I want to do 3 is what I had planned on. So let's cut these down. So let's get, and this is going to be like an envelope on the side. Like I was thinking, what if we did something like this? And then we have a tuck spot behind it. What do you think? When we stitch along the bottom, or what will be the side or whatever? I don't know. I'm kind of thinking on that. And then I'm going to grab some more envelopes and we'll just kind of make envelope pockets and make other pockets and just kind of, yeah, we'll see where this goes. I have the notion in my head. I have the idea. Now it's time for the execution, which sometimes works and sometimes doesn't. So we're going to take this, open it up. Now sometimes these pull out and sometimes they don't. And this one doesn't look like it's going to. So we're just going to take this and cut it off. Oh, maybe. It should have gone from the other direction. There we go. Now these are metal. So you can take this paper off and then use these for closures. So put these in a cup. I have a cup over here that I keep kind of random things in. And then we have our page 1. And that worked pretty good last time. So now if you don't have this cutter, you can use a knife and a ruler. There we go. Now I'm wondering if we should make these a little bit more even or purposely offset them. Yeah, let's purposely offset them a little bit. Let's take this one down by about, let's see, so 9 1/4. Let's do 8 1/4. Put that in there. And then we'll do this one 8 1/2. Maybe. There we go. It's just going to shave off just ever a little bit. There we go. Okay, so that's kind of offset a little bit like that. Just a little bit. And then this guy, I think we can just put him right in there like that. Yeah. Okay, so how long are these? We need these to, they're tall. 9 3/4. So let's do 9 3/4. Wait, is that right? Yeah. And well, let's do it right here. Yeah, 9 3/4 is right here. So we're going to cut this off. This goes in the scrap bin. Put it in the right spot, Tish. Okay. And while I'm here and I'm thinking about it, I'm going to round these corners back off. So I'm going to use the large punch here. There we go. So that one's done. And then 9 3/4. And we're going to punch these ones at large too. Maybe. Let's see if both of them will go in at the same time. What is the dealio here? Sorry about that. Got a little loud. Well, I'll get my other corner punch out for that. For some reason, it's not wanting to punch. Okay, 9 3/4. There's a trend going on here. There we go. Let's see if it'll punch this one. Okay. There's something amiss with that blue one. Let's see if we can. Okay, so we got that all cut. Let's try it. Let's try one more time. Just maybe it's just that corner. Okay. See, I don't get it. I don't get it at all. This punch is great, but sometimes it's finicky. Yeah, see, I think, yeah, it made a mark, so I can just cut this out with my scissors. There we go. Let's see if we can get the same mark on this one. Well, that one punched. Okay, whatever. Whatever. Every time I say that I want to sign it. Whatever. Okay, so this is a little bit bigger, but that's okay. Because what we're going to do is fold it. No, can't fold it in half because then you can't use this little guy. You know what we can do? We can cut it in half. We're going to make a fold right where we want it though. So we're going to have it be off the, it'll be a little bit bigger and I'm okay with that. So we're going to take and we're going to cut it. We're going to cut it right here. Yeah, let's do that. That might be kind of fun. I'll leave the holes open like that. I'm trying to make it as straight as I can here. There we go. Okay. And I'm going to take this and we're just going to cut the hole off for this guy. I want to use both these pieces within our little pocket folder signature thingy-mabob. There we go. So that can go in our scrap bin. And then we've got this pocket and we're going to put, where did my little notch or oval thing go? There it is. I knew I sat down. I knew I saw it. I'm just going to put a little notch in here. Right about there. go. Excuse me. Okay, so I'm going to take this, and I'm going to bring it over. Kind of like, because I like the little notches, like, that looks cool. I'm going to stitch down, do like a zigzag stitch down here. Maybe I should do, yeah, let's do a little bit of glue stick just to keep it in place. It's going to stay in place, but, you know, crazier things have happened. I need my studio is, I spent probably an hour cleaning it this morning and it still looks like a bomb went off in here, but it's okay. We roll with the punches, right? All right. I need something to glue on. Let's take this. There we go. There we go. Okay. And I'm just going to put a little bit of glue stick along the edge here. So that way we're not relying completely on the stitching for it. Let me bebop over to the sewing machine really super fast. And whatever thread we have threaded on there is what we'll be using. So, oh crap, I forgot to move my chair back over. I was using the chair in another space. My other chair, when everything's said and done, I'm probably gonna have like 4 chairs up here because I've got 3 stations, technically more like 6. Just because I like to have stations to work at. That way, wherever I'm at, I can just sit down and work. I don't have to get a bunch of stuff out and move a bunch of stuff around. So I have a resin station. So the only time I move any of that is when I'm live streaming. So I can usually prepare for that. All right, here we go. I am going to backstitch. There we go. Go up, pull straight back. That looks pretty cute. It's a light blue, so it's what I had in my sewing machine. I think I like that kind of randomness that happens when we do that. So, excuse me. Now, we're going to take this guy. We're going to put this guy on here, like so. Like that. And we're just going to glue the top and the bottom so you have a pouch pocket and then you have this pocket. So let's get this as straight as we can. And I'm actually going to cut this string off a little shorter, and this one too. There we go. And we're going to put the string on here. You know, I need to find out what this is actually. There's got to be a name for this kind of closure. There we go. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to do the straight line down here first. But before I do that, I'm going to put the stamp on, just because I spent all the money to get a new pad for it because the old one was worn out and falling apart. So I like it. I saw it there when I was getting the tape. It happens when you have ADHD. It's like, ooh, shiny. Okay, so we're going to put that over the stitching. just so the glue doesn't seep through. Come off of there. There we go. And I'm using this Tombow Mono glue stick. You can get yours at the Painted Raven. There is a link and a discount code in the description. I've been shopping there for, well, over a year. And when I teach classes, some of them are there. Okay, so I want to make sure I don't cover up the holes because those are cute. But I do want to just make sure that the glue doesn't, I want to try and prevent the glue from seeping through. It may still do it because, you know, it's glue and it does its own thing. It's kind of like a toddler. All right, we're going to put that over here. And we're going to take our silicone spatula. There we go. Okay, now I feel better. Now let's get this guy out. Did I? Really? You're going to be like that? It's being, oh, it's being obtuse. There we go. Took the whole tip off. Crazy thing. Okay, since we have the tip off, let's grab a pin and clean this out. That looks good. And then we're going to clean this out. I haven't used this glue in a couple of days. I've been busy doing computery work. So I'm trying to get all the freebies out for you guys. And I'm too particular. I need to just be like, that's good enough. But I'm very particular. I don't use AI. I do all of my own editing. I do all my own creating. If I do use AI, I use it to build an element and then I go and modify it. And because sometimes I just, like, I can't get the shading right on something, or the gradient is being finicky. And so I'll have the AI part of the program help me out a little bit. Why is this so gummed up? Ay, ay. You know, I wish they had a better top for these than just the pin. Like, if you're not going to use it for like a couple of days, I wish you could just put like a silicone cap on it so you don't have to deal with this kind of crap. Because there is a big glob right in the middle there, and I can see it with my pin pushing on it. Lord have mercy. Do I have a piece of wire? Because that might work better. I don't see one. Maybe a bigger pin. Let's try this sewing needle. There we go. Now it's starting to come out. Hi, Joni. There we go. Okay. Haha. I got most of it. I can see daylight, sort of. I can see clearly now the rain has gone. Okay. We'll see if that works. Hopefully it does. All right, let's put this back on there. Give it a tap, tap. And after all that, I need a sip of coffee. Hey, yeah. Let me grab my coffee. Ugh. I keep it on the floor. That way, if I spill it, it spills on the floor, not all over my workstation. See, I'm getting smarter in my ages. Okay. Had a sneeze in me too, I guess. Let's put that off to the side. We don't want to get glue on it. And I want to put, there's these lines in the folder. So I want to try and follow. Let's look at this again and see which one we won't need to follow. I put the confidential. Oh no, I did this on the wrong side. See, this is what happens when you don't have enough caffeine in your caffeine system. And that's the reason why I took the, oh, we're going to tear the paper a little bit. That's okay. Distressed. That's why I put the stamp on that side. So I'd be like, okay, flip it over. It's all right. Mistakes were made, but they were fixed. So let's try this again. Good thing this tape is cheap. I get it at the Dollar Tree. It's just paper medical tape. Get it in the like health and wellness portion of the store. Anybody else feel janky buying like like acetaminophen and ibuprofen from the Dollar Tree? Do you feel like you're getting like something that might hurt you? Well, Tylenol and acetaminophen can actually hurt you if you have certain medical conditions, or you drink a lot, or consume a lot of stuff like things that'll affect your kidneys and liver. So, and I only say that because I had a friend of mine that was getting really, really sick, and she couldn't figure out why. Turns out it was because she was popping Advil like they were Pez. You're not supposed to do that. So she finally got some pain management going, and that's great because she was in a car accident and it hurt her to even just exist. And every day that I feel pain, I am grateful that I feel the pain because it lets me know that I'm alive. All right, now let's try this again. Is it a little sticky? Yeah, it's a little sticky. That's okay. We'll make it work. So I want it to be right about there. So we're going to put the glue on this line now that it's probably all dried up again. Oh, Lord. Let's see if it works without the tip. Yep. It's usually that I'll have to soak it in some water. All right, I'm just going to kind of smooch this out so it has a nice bond, but doesn't leak out all over the place. And yes, I could use my spatula for this part, but finger tool works good too. Get it all the way to the edge. There we go. And I need my glue towel. Come here. Oh, you're gonna stick to your friend, huh? Okay. Sorry, my glue towel decided I didn't want to come and be useful. So this way we can line it up. And we'll use the glue towel to wipe where we over smudged. This is an old kitchen towel. I buy my kitchen towels from Williams-Sonoma because they are probably the best kitchen towel other than the commercial towels that I used in professional bakeries and food service type places. Those ones would get really thin though sometimes because they've been washed one too many times. All right, now I don't know why this is being obtuse. The pin will go through. Trying not to poke my finger. Ow. And I just did. All right, let's try this again. That is a needle that I don't use on my sewing machine. I use heavy duty needles or denim needles. I do have embroidery and regular sewing needles, and that's one of the like mid-range ones. And it's just slightly bent, so it doesn't work real well on the sewing machine, but it works great for, you know, cleaning out purposes. So we're going to take and we're going to put this down. Come on, work with me here. See, you know what? Until I can go soak that thing in some hot water, we're just going to put you on, and we're going to use the Barely Art glue, which works. So I'm going to do this, and then I'm going to do this up the side. There we go. And then do the same thing over here. Do it about 3/4 of the way. And then all the way. And then flatten it out. And the only reason why I don't use the Barely Art glue is it doesn't like stick right away. You kind of got to hold it down, and even still, sometimes it doesn't stick. So, all right, there is our first folio pocket. And I think we'll do, because we're going to have it in there like this. Oh, no, this one goes in front. So that looks kind of cool. There we go. And I think on the back side of this, I'll just put this in. I'm going to ink this real quick with just a little bit of brown so it frames it. Excuse me. I'm not doing a lot of ink, not grunging it up really so much as making it so it can be seen. Because everybody wants to be seen. Right? Right. Okay. And then this one, I'm going to do this way. So that way. Or maybe I should put it on here. Because we have this one here. Maybe I should put it on here. No, I'm going to put it on here. And then we'll put the other envelopes on these ones. So I'm going to put this right about here. So let's just, I got to come down a little bit. If you like Barely Art glue though, and I do like it for some reason, for some purposes, like if I want to have like wiggle time, this works great. Because sometimes you don't have, you know, you don't want it to adhere right away. So I'm going to put this one right here. Like so. And if you want to get some and try it for yourself, Painted Raven down in the description below. And there's a discount code because I try to do what I can for all my artist friends. I try to produce as many freebies as I can, but a girl's got to get paid too. And I've been having creative issues. Like I know what I want to do on the page. I know what I want it to look like, but I'm still, I wouldn't say I'm a newbie. Like I know like tools, but there's sometimes I want a certain effect, and um, I don't know how to do it. So I have to go watch, go to YouTube University and watch all the things. Okay, so we've got those two pockets. Let's go grab a couple of envelopes. Put my glue towel up there. Okay, so we're gonna take some envelopes here. And I've got some pre-made envelopes, like these are pre-made. And then I've got some envelopes that I made with my envelope maker. That's kind of cool. Use that one. And that one. Maybe that one. Make a little journaling spot. Actually, I like that one better for this. Actually, no, I like them both. We'll try them on, see what we think. Okay. And I made these notebooks a while back. Maybe we can make a pocket and put that in there. Okay. Oy. Okay. So we're going to set this stuff to the side. And then, keeping in mind how we're going to keep these in here, let's do something like this maybe. And then that. See, I like that, but I feel like you can't get in the pockets. So what we're going to do is we're going to modify this. Actually, let's modify this one. And that way it'll stay right there like that and give us some visual interest. And then we're going to modify this one. So I use a letter opener wherever he went. There he is. And move this out of the way. Put these over on the pile. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to kind of stab it and then just kind of try to keep it as straight as possible. There we go. There. Now we've got this edge and kind of coming down about the same space, and stab it and do it like that. You can use one of those clicky blades if you don't have a letter opener that's sharp. I'm going to see if I have mine here or if it's in my toolbox. Here it is. See if you have one of these. You just use one of these. Okay? I like this better. It works better for me. So what we're going to do is not fold it, but hold it kind of straight. And then just modify it. There we go. There we go. Is it straight? No. It's straight-ish. Good enough for me. We're gonna put a little notch. There we go. Now I'm gonna put just a little bit of ink. I mean, just really, really faint, just to kind of show that this is a pocket. So it's not white on white directly. So you can see, like, it adds a shadow. And then we're going to take this and put this right there. I'm going to use glue stick and barely art glue. So I'm going to do glue stick for the main part. Just because I want it to stick really well. And then the barely art glue around the edge. And I don't want to go too far, too close, because otherwise it'll mess with how it folds. All right. And that is nice and flat. So now we have a pocket here and an envelope pocket here, just like that. I'm going to put that right here, and we'll make this a tuck spot. So we'll do this edge and this edge. Now you can use junk mail envelopes to do this too. You don't have to use card envelopes or, you know, new envelopes. These are new envelopes, but I got them on clearance for like 50 cents or something. It was really inexpensive. So, and then also some of these were, what's the word I'm looking for here? Some of them came as part of like a set of like cards and stuff that I used the card in to make a journal, and so I had the envelope left over. So there's that and that. We could even, when we go to decorate, we could take this and turn it into a journaling spot to cover up this little piece of glue. So, but for now, we're just going to get the structure of the pockets. And we can stamp and decorate and whatnot and what have you. So what are we going to do on the inside, you may ask? Well, I was thinking, what about taking these and making them into belly bands like this. So just so I can cut a straight line. Look, it's a bubble. Oh yeah. I have a special talent for making random bubbles, I guess. So I am going, actually, you know what? Where's my decal cutter? Let's decal edge these. And then we're going to stamp these too, because these are harder to decorate. We'll stamp them real quick. I need to put that guy away before I hurt myself on him. Excuse me. So if I, yeah. No, I was going to do it this way. So we're just going to line this up right here. There we go. And line this up. I gotta, there's a thickness there, so actually let's do one and then the other, so that way they're not matchy-matchy. There's one. If you don't have a decal cutter, you can try tearing this. I don't know how well this blue would tear, but if you're using cardstock, you can just tear it. There, we'll put the decal cutter back where it belongs. And let's grab some stamps. And because we used this one on the inside, let's use this one again. We're going to go like this. And we did purple, but this time let's use the black, because I think black will be a nice contrast. This is archival ink, because this paper feels a little bit glossy. I think it might be like one of those vinyl covered or plastic covered file folders, the like indestructible ones. So there. There's that. And I'm just going to put that right about there. I'll stamp it down. There we go. Excuse me. And then I think we need some script on here. So I'm going to use, this is a Christmas stamp of all things. That I got at the Painted Raven. I think she has one more there. It doesn't say, it's not like Christmassy. It doesn't say Merry Christmas and all that. It just, it's just really cool Gothic style print. Here we go. There's my blue. I grabbed the green too. Excuse me, but I didn't want to use the green because it's a kind of green folder. I want this to kind of stand out, sort of. So we're going to move that one aside. And then I'll do this right here. And this right here. There we go. So it's kind of in the background. And then we'll ink that in a minute with some brown. We'll do the same with this one. And I might actually get my crackle stamp and give this some crackle too. There we go. So it's got like a old fountain pen, like, I don't know. My brain's not thinking of the time era. Let's see. My crackle stamp is over here. So let's just give it a few little crackles here and there. Oy. we go. Yeah, that looks cool. Okay, I'll do the same thing with that one. Just kind of ink it up wherever pad hits. Do that one there, that one there, and then throw that up there. Grab the brown dauber. This one I am inking up a little bit just to grunge it a little bit. There we go. There we go. And then open this up. Put one here, like this. Yeah. You know what? I'm going to stitch the ends of these. I'll be right back. Because I just kind of like the hoe stitching thing. And I'm just going to use the same thread because, well, frankly, I'm lazy. I don't want to change I don't want to change it. That would break up my flow. So we're going to do one forward and then go all the way back. There we go. And I'm just going to pull it a little bit. Again, one forward and then one backward. Nope. Skipped a stitch, which is fine. I was trying not to get the strings in where the bobbin goes. Okay, and this one I'm going to sew upside down so I get the bobbin thread is a different color, so we'll get a different color. So let's do this. There we go. There we go. I'll go for a little slightly different aesthetic. Oh, words are hard. There we go. Quick stitches. Excuse me. Quick stitches, and then let's put this away before we stab ourselves with it. I like having different stations as in my studio. If you don't have it, if you don't have the space for it, then you don't have to do it. But if you have the space for it, I love having different stations. One, because then it gets me up out of my chair, and I move around a lot more. And we kind of all need to move more. Okay, I'm going to take this one. I just pull them all to the back. And then I'm just gonna kind of tie them off, and then we're gonna put tape over them so the glue doesn't seep through the little holes. In theory. It still sometimes happens. Okay. This is going to be interesting working with marshmallow this afternoon. If my hands are rejecting me already. Okay. Let's try it this way. The kind of greenish brown that it's kind of a army green color that's on the thimble, or not the thimble, the bobbin. And so it's kind of hard to see if I'm going to be real. Okay, and then we're going to snip this off right about here. We're going to do the same thing with this side. So what I'm doing is I'm pulling this front thread through like that. So you give a little tug on the backside thread and it'll pull the other thread through. And that one's really short for whatever reason. So I'm just tying a knot so they stay kind of in place. At least that's the theory. If I can get the thread to cooperate. Come in now. There we go. Just one more, and then you can be done. Okay. I wish there was like a little gadget that you could buy that would just tie your threads for you. See, because that's not tied. What is going on? Okay. That down. And then this one, because they go off the same side, I'm just going to leave these ones to do their thing. So, yeah. We're going to put tape on the back. Don't need a piece that big. I don't even need a piece that big. That's okay. We'll make it work. Actually, I'm going to grab my Uhu stick because it's wider. There we go. So now, hold that in place, stick that down, and pull it back a little bit, and snip off the excess. There we go. And put a little bit of glue down here so this one, because this one just wants to go everywhere. So we're going to dippity do it and make this one a little shorter so we don't have to snip it, hopefully. There we go. I think we're good. Just maybe, hopefully. So we'll put one at one edge like that, and we do have to snip the one edge. That's okay. just a little bit. There we go. We'll take this. And while that's setting up, let's do this one. Hey, let go of my finger. Thank you. Okay, oh, what am I doing? This also helps the reinforce the thread so it doesn't pull through as easily. So it's worth it to just put a little, you don't even have to use glue tape. You can just use a little piece of like Scotch tape. You can use, I don't like Scotch tape because glossy surfaces don't glue well. But if you can find that, like that magic tape that's matte, that works really good for this. You can use, like, I have the shipping tape. You can use little pieces of that. And yeah, we're going to put this one here. Okay, let's get this guy put away. And this guy. All right. And we're going to put some glue here. And here. Let's go down a little bit further. There we go. I'm going to put this right here like so. Just wipe off the excess. And this one right here. There we go. And then we've got this one that we're going to put right here. Trying to decide which direction I like better. I'm going to put this one down a little bit lower so they're not all matchy-matchy. There we go. Okay, so we got the front, which got a little dirty, which is fine. The inside, now what are we going to do with the back? Back, let's see, what do we got here? We've got Time Flies. Warm Season, The Simple Life, Good Luck, Enjoy Yourself. I like that one. Oh, let's see. Hello, my friend. To you, thank you, and best wishes. I like Time Flies, I think, because that'll help bring the color in. These are nice, sturdy envelopes. I got these with the embossing tool, the wax seal embossing tool. And because this is longer, we can put this here like this. And we're going to make this a pocket. Oh, yeah, let's just not even ink it. I'm not going to go all the way to the edge. So if we want to put stuff underneath it when we decorate, we can. And I'm going to put this pocket towards the bottom. Here we go. All right, so we have the first set of pocket pages ready to go. Now we need to do the inside of this one. And I think what I want to just do is take two of these. Oh, they're a little long. What if we did one like this? And then one like this. So it goes like that. Yeah, and then we can put a little flap here. So let's glue this to this, like this. And then we'll glue this to this and then make the pocket right there. All right, so that's what we're going to do. Let's do this. And then a little right here, like that. And we're going to make it kind of overlap like that. Before I push this down, I just want to make sure that I'm mostly straight. There we go. And then we'll put glue here, here, and up along here. And then that way you've got a pocket here and then a tuck spot there. Yep, yep, yep. Okay. So again, we're going to kind of keep away from the edge. On that side. There we go. In case we want to slide something in there. And then we're going to put this right there. There we go. And then let's take this envelope and put it here because it's got this little tuck space. And then what if we did something like this? Actually, let's cut that off. Let's cut this in half. Excuse me. I'm going to use the decal cutter. Oops. That's the little shelf divider that I want to put on that shelf, but I haven't figured out how I'm going to attach it. So we're going to do this little decal cutter guy like that. And use the bottom piece like that. But we're going to put this right here. I'm actually going to put a little bit of glue just right on this edge. So it's more of a pocket, but still kind of a tuck spot too. But it'll also help keep it from ripping, because we don't want it to rip. There we go. And I'm going to take just a little bit of ink and get this edge just to frame it out. There we go. And this side. And I'm using brown because, well, I have brown on my desk. I also have blue and green and black, but, you know, it is what it is. Plus, I think with this, it'll look better with brown. I got brick red, which would look really cool, but I didn't think about it until after I inked it with brown. And maybe if we want to come back, we can. So, we have this here. That flips open as another tuck spot. This flips open to be a journaling spot, or you can, you know, store secret things in here. And I want this to be kind of like, yeah, I think right there is perfect. So we're going to be about that far. Okay. I'm going to put this here so I kind of remember. And then put this on this side, like this. And I'm going to cut this little triangle piece off. Here we go. All right, and then we're going to glue this down. Do we want it to be a tuck spot, or do we want it to be a pocket that goes this way? I like the idea of this way, but I also like the idea of a big open tuck spot too. Let me think on that while I have a sip of coffee. Okay. I think, whoopsie daisy, what did I knock over? Oh, the shelf thingy. You go over there. So I don't roll you over. All right. Because this is a journal space, I think I want to make it as stable as possible. So I think I'm going to do a pocket going this way. So we're going to flip this over and put our glue down. There we go. And line that up. Yeah, that's about where we want it. And we'll press it down. Move that out of our way. All right, this one's done. So we have an envelope on the front, some envelopes in the middle. And I kind of like this here because you can have that stick out a little bit. There we go. 2 down, 1 to go. Now, for this, you know what? We're gonna use the stamp, gall darn it. Oops. There we go. There we go. And let's do kind of torn because this is ivory, and I don't necessarily want to do ivory on ivory. I wonder if I have some, excuse me, I've got the hiccups, black envelopes. I think I do. Somewhere in this, I gotta reorganize all these. I went and looked on a quest for envelopes one day, and I just made a mess of everything. So, oh, these are cool. Let's do some, they're white, but they'll work. Let's do, okay, let's grab 2 black ones. Not that I'm going to use them, but both of them, but it'll help inspire. And then I have these ones. So I got these for $2.49, $2.50 for normally $10. So, and they're brand new. I don't think I've ever used these because what was I going to use them for? But now, here's what you use them for. So, oh, and they're foil lined too. How cool is that? So, we want this on here, like that. Now, what if we didn't do it that way? What if we did it? Because I want that foil to show too. What if we did it this way? Or this way. So, yep. Okay. First things first. We're going to put some tape here because we don't want it to get sticky if it gets humid. I want to turn this into a tuck spot, but we're going to do some other stuff too. And while this is drying, we'll work on the one that's going to go on the inside. Should we do belly bands, or should we? Should I do belly bands inside this one too, just to make it more simple? We've got the green, which I think would be really cool to do. I just want to make sure the adhesive is covered. There we go. And then once this dries, we'll make a little notch. So what'll happen is this will flip up, that'll be there, that'll be open, and then we're going to take and cut this edge off, and we're going to seal this edge down. So best way to do that is with a piece of boxing tape, which is in here. So this is boxing tape. I get it's like $12 a roll, but a roll will last you like forever. I've had this roll for like a year and a half, I think, maybe longer. And the cool thing about this is you don't, I'm going to use this to measure, you don't have to put more adhesive on it. So we're going to go right about there. It's very sticky. There we go. It does not tear. You have to cut it. It's kind of obnoxious that way, but hey, you know, no judgment. So I'm going to put this down like so. And then use the bone folder. Make sure it sticks down really well. There we go. And then we're going to cut So that's going to go there. Let's put a little divot right there. Okay. And, you know, before we go any further, I do want to coffee stain this. So I've got a little bit of coffee stain in this mister, and I'm just going to mist this really quick. And while that adhesive is wet, we're going to take a piece of washi tape and put that down. So I've got the perfect tape to use right here. I knew exactly which one I was going to use because it's kind of got this green and gold, and it's really pretty. So we're going to cut it. I'm just going to set it down where I want it. Yeah, okay. So tear that off, put some glue stick on it because this is Amazon washi tape. And I don't even think it would stick temporarily if I wanted it to. Because I've had it for a minute. I'm going to make sure we get this to stick really well. Okay. Now, before we put this down, I want to reevaluate because I want it to go so it's facing upwards. There we go. Right along the side there. There we go. Okay. Now I'm going to let this dry, but first I want to kind of cut this washi tape off. There we go. Not perfect, but that's okay. We're going to ink the edge anyways. Let's get some of this tape off of this scissors. There we go. And then we'll cut this one. All right, so it's not stark white and it's not like dark brown, but we are going to ink all the edges on this and all the edges on this. I want to wait for this to dry though. So this is our front cover. And I want to use this washi tape on the back cover. So let's do something similar. Let's make these two hinge together. So when you open them, they open up flat. So what we'll do is lay this down. And I think, yeah, right about there. I'm going to glue one side of this. Actually, we'll glue both sides. Just makes it easier. There we go. And let's figure out our orientation. So this is going to go here. This is going to go here. have it like this. There we go, just like that. Now, I'm going to pull this down a little bit. Okay. I'm going to cut the washi. I'm kind of cutting it at a little bit of an angle towards the back side, so it's a little bit wider. Sort of. If I can get my scissors to, if I can get my hands to stop shaking. There we go, just a little bit. And then line this up again where we want it. I want it just to have a hair of black underneath. There we go. Now we'll turn this around. There we go. So now it's hinged. It flips open. We've got two pockets right here. And we're going to put a piece of washi tape right here, but I'm going to use a different kind, but similar style. I know I have more of that. What colors do we have on here? Green and red. So this one will work. All right. And I want it to be right there, right there. Put some sticky on it. And because this is straight, we'll start with this one. Have it come down just a hair. There we go. And then there we go. Beautiful. And burnish it down on both sides. There we go. Now, oops, that's going on the front. Let's put this one on the back. I think we're going to leave this as a tuck spot right here. So you can put things here. I don't know, I always do things right-handed. Maybe I need to start doing things more left-handed. My daughter is left-handed. Maybe I need to design a journal for her. And I'm going to leave, like I said, leave the edge alone. There we go. You know, we're going to kind of do it like this. Last minute design edit. So you get more of a thing there. I'm trying to leave as much stuff away from the edge as I can, even though I was looking at this and I'm like, I don't know, because we're going to do a tab binding, and those require a little bit of planning. All right, So we got the front, the back, and we're going to do belly bands in the middle. All right, is this dry? Not yet. I'll put you in the pile over here. Put you back over here. We've got these green. So we've got this cool green on the outside, and this kind of brownish green on the inside or outside, and then the inside's kind of more green. So let's do a straight cut on these. Excuse me. There we go. Now we've got two separate pieces. And I think we will just do a couple of script stamps real quick. So, and I think we'll do purple and blue. This is a plum actually, so it's not like a true purple. And yes, I'm intentionally leaving one flipped over, you know, one on the inside, one on the outside. So they're two different shades of green because I want to have both. I want to have my cake and eat it too. So we're going to do this one this way. Slide it up. There we go. And then maybe I just leave it like that. I kind of like that. Let's round the corners though. Let's do the small rounded corners. And no stitching today on these ones. No stitching today for these. We want to leave it open for decoration. Well, the stitching wouldn't leave it open, but it puts a little damper on things. And I'm going to ink these in black instead of brown, just because I can. I think it'll look more the way I want it to look. Yeah. I'm not going to do it like real heavy, just, again, frame it out. Oh, I missed a corner. Oh. Roach. There we go. Okay, there's one. There we go. There's two. So, open this up. Yeah, like this, like this. Okay. Before I make, I'm going to take a look at this and see how I want it to lay. I'm going to grab a sip of coffee. I drink iced coffee, so I mute my microphone so you don't have to hear the jingle, jangle, jangle of all the ice in my cup. So. Okay, I am going to put this one kind of right here. And then this one's going to be towards the back a little bit more. And I almost feel like I should stamp this. But I don't know with what. You know, we can always stamp it later. So, because I don't know with what yet. And about right there. And this one's going to go about right here. Yeah. Okay, there's those. So, we got the back. On the back, it's got some. See, now we're definitely have to stamp it or ink it or splatter it or something, because there are things that are flying about. Oh, we could put this here. I don't know. I'm gonna put this in the pile of things to put in the thing, because I don't want to lift up the glue that I've worked so hard to put down. And then we still have these ones too that we can kind of put in there. So we'll put those in that pile too. Because I just wanted to show you, illustrate to you how you can do pockets differently. You don't have to do them the same boring way all the time. Oh, wait, did we cut this yet? No, we haven't. We need to do that. Okay. Again, if you don't have the cutter, you can use a straight edge and a knife. I use a rotary cutter. I have this little guy just because it's easier for me. And I seem to get a cleaner cut if I'm using a rotary cutter. So, but that's just me. You do you, boo. I'm not going to tell you what to do. So we're going to put a little notch in here. Like so. Ish, right there. There we go. And then we're going to take the brown ink. And I know brown on brown, but you know, it works for me. Did I use this for black? Yes. Tish, what are you doing? Not thinking. That's what we're doing. Okay. Let's take that off and get a new one. As I knock things over. There we go. Okay, new dauber. That one was starting to get yucky anyways, right? Right. What did I get on my ink pad? Must have gotten glue on my ink pad. It's known to happen. But I've had these ink pads for, I don't know, probably 2 or 3 years. I just refill them and refill them. So, which this one I think we need to refill because I use it a lot. And we are going to just ink the edges so it frames it a little bit. And I'll open this up. Get that edge and this edge. And this edge. go. Do the same thing with this guy. And I'm doing brown because I coffee stained this envelope. And I'll just make that coffee stain kind of pop out a little bit more. Lay down flat, please. Thank you. There we go. I'm not going to do the inside. Okay, so this goes here. This goes here. Let's move this out of the way. Come on, work with me. So this is going to go here. So I think it will be easier to put the glue on the brown piece of paper. There we go, kind of line that up. It's not exactly the same size. It's like a 1/16 of an inch off. But I want to make sure that I give it enough room to fold, which I did. There we go. And then I think we're going to put this right here like this, and we'll make we're going to make it a pocket like this. So there's two pockets, one here, one there, one here. This can get folded up. There's a tuck spot here. So we're going to make it, put it right here like that. Okay. Yep, right there. So I'm going to leave, I'm going to stay as far away from the edge as I dare so we can put more things there when it's time to decorate this. There we go. And right about there. There we go. Got a little bit of glue right there, but that's okay. So we have this that goes there and that, like that. We could even put a little closure right here to hold it in place when we start decorating. There we go. So let's find our needle for this guy. He's around here somewhere. Guess we just have to tidy up to find it. Well, jeepers. There he is. I found you. So let's move this out of the way. And let's go through this really quick and see what we did. And hopefully this video inspires you to do something different with pockets. So this is going to go in our little spine, I think. I don't know yet. Maybe we'll put this in the big spine. Lots of room to grow. So when you open it up, you have this pocket here and this pocket here. We can put a little note card right here, so there's a little journaling spot. And then we open it up, and we got 2 belly bands right here. We can put a little piece of paper and a little piece of paper, journaling spots, you know, whatever. I don't want to decorate it just yet because I don't know what the vibe of everything getting put together will be until Friday when we put everything together. So, but we've got an envelope here, and there's a pocket here behind it. It says time flies, and it's in gold, so we're kind of got a gold theme. This is more bronzy, brassy, but there's a pocket behind here. This is one of these pockets, and yes, it's a little crinkled, but you know what? Vintage, okay? There we go. And opening this up, we've got 2 things here. We've got a pocket here and one behind. And then we've got this that opens up with a tuck spot pocket here, and then a journaling spot, or you could put another pocket in here. There we go. And then the other side of that envelope, there's a pocket and a pocket. And then this envelope we just finished up, so pocket, 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 pocket. I feel like I'm stuttering a little bit. But belly band, open, pocket, pocket, tuck spot. And I might actually put glue down here, but I think I want to put something behind there. I'm not sure. But they're all gonna fit in our journal when we put it together on Friday. And then we'll go through and add some embellishments, some to cover up our mistakes, because we're inevitably make them, because we are human, and you know, that's kind of the fun part of it. And I think I am going to put this in the big part of the journal. We're going to still do a tab binding, and then we're going to do a tab binding in the back and just put notebook paper, like coffee dyed notebook paper. We'll stitch it together and then put it in a tab. I think that'll be cool. So let me know what you think, and go out and create something awesome. But also remember to be kind to one another. Peace, love, and happiness.